This is video somebody posted to Facebook in April of 2019. Now, the video she posted looked literally like a black sky. So why would she post a video of nothing, right? So I went ahead, of course, I put this in my editing software program, Adobe Premiere, and I immediately bumped up the brightness quite a bit, as well as the contrast. Quite a lot, actually. And this is what I was able to see. So I'm assuming this is what she could see, but the camera couldn't pick up. So there's two lights and they're flittering around. They almost kind of look like flies, fireflies, or something like that. So what I've done here is I've zoomed in a little bit so we can get a little bit closer, and I've increased the sharpness just a little bit, as well as the brightness. Now you're going to see they leave like residue lights in their paths and their trails. I've done a bit of research to try to figure out what might cause that, and I'm not having any luck finding it. Also, you're going to see these red and blue squares in the back, and that's just what happens when I sharpen it and increase brightness, or increase brightness. Either one will cause this. So I wanted to get rid of those squares in the background. And so it's going to make our little light a little bit more fuzzy, but we can still see it here. I've zoomed in on that top light. And again, it looks like it's flittering around. There you see it left a light of a dot or residue behind. Again, I don't know how I can explain this with technical artifacts or anything like that. Now that was interesting. It left a residue, went back and got it, and then flew out of frame. So we're going to focus on that a little bit. Here again, I've increased the sharpness and the brightness and the contrast, primarily because I kind of enjoy watching it interact and affect the squares in the background. I'd like to know more about how this happens, and I've been doing lots of research, can't find anything. So I think I'm going to post this question and some pictures on a forum with some professionals to maybe answer what's going on here, why the light would leave residue and affect it like this. So I'm going to focus on how this light left a spot, goes back and gets it, and then flies up. Notice that red rectangle, that's important. We're going to go to that a little later. So here it goes, grabs it, reaches up. It looks like it disappears for a moment, and then it comes flying down there, somehow affecting the rectangle as it touches it. So there's the red rectangle, if you remember. And so I'm going to slow this down to 10% speed. And I'd like to kind of watch this a little bit better on its movement and really how it leaves things in its path. And then this part, it goes back up, gets this thing it left, or affects it, then flies away, still leaving it behind. It seems like it's getting smaller or further away. Okay, I'm going to pause here. I almost missed this. I had recorded the narration and was doing my final edits, and then I saw this here, and it caught my eye because it looks kind of like a bee, and it also looks like these other images I captured from other videos of what looks like flying insects. So I'm going to continue playing. It changes to a random nothing weird dot, and then immediately goes back to the bee. I mention this because random data would very unlikely create insects like this repeatedly, or shapes that look like insects repeatedly. and then consistently again. What I'm saying is the odds of that happening are so minute that I really feel like this needs to be taken seriously. So let's go ahead and continue, but instead of following the light, I'm going to stay on this B shape. Now all these rectangles and shapes in the back are just frozen there. They're not doing anything, they're not moving. Then all of a sudden there's this glitch and the B shape disappears. So let's go back to the original light. There's our B shape, but we're going to go ahead and follow this moving light. Disappears, reappears somewhere else. There's the glitch. The light disappears, reappears again, leaves residue. So now we have 2 dots here. Now we have 3 dots. There's some interaction between those lower 2 dots. Just freezing here, no movement, not even the squares and rectangles in the back. That's interesting. I think we need to take note of that. There's the major glitch, and the lights disappear. That happens often in these videos. Now let's get rid of all the shapes in the background and watch this thing at 50% speed, a little bit faster, still not real-time speed. So this is exactly what you just saw. And you can tell the difference, how much we can't see here, but how much we could see once I was able to highlight those shapes in the back.